Friday night in Newark, Delaware. The stage is set for a pivotal clash in Conference USA. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers arrive with a 4-1 record and the league's most feared passing attack. The Delaware Blue Hens, in their first year at the FBS level, stand at 3-1 and see this game as their chance to prove they belong among the heavyweights. Under the lights, in front of a charged blue-out crowd, the stakes are as high as any regular season matchup. At quarterback for Western Kentucky is Maverick McIver, the engine of the Hilltoppers' air raid. Through 5 games, he has piled up nearly 1,500 yards and 11 touchdowns, ranking among the nation's best. When given time, he's devastating, completing more than 80% of his throws in a clean pocket. With Matthew Henry and K.D. Hutchinson stretching the field, McIver has the weapons to turn any drive into 6 points. Delaware counters with Nick Minicucci, a steady passer and a dangerous runner. He's thrown for over 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns, but it's his legs that give defenses nightmares. 4 rushing scores already this season, and his scrambling keeps drives alive when plays break down. Paired with Joe Silver, averaging over 7 yards per carry, the Blue Hens have a backfield built to exploit Western Kentucky's biggest weakness. And that's the key to this game: strength against weakness. Delaware wants to hammer away on the ground against a Hilltopper defense surrendering more than 200 rushing yards a night. Western Kentucky wants McIver upright and attacking a Blue Hen secondary that gives up big plays and struggles to pressure the quarterback. With Delaware's defense dealing with injuries, the balance tilts toward the more complete offense, and today's AI pick is Western Kentucky plus 2.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 2.
Friday night in Tampa, the Charlotte 49ers enter Raymond James Stadium as massive underdogs, staring down a nationally ranked South Florida squad. The Bulls are 3-1, hardened by wins over Boise State and Florida, while Charlotte sits at 1-3, patching holes after a wave of injuries. The market has drawn a hard line. South Florida favored by nearly 4 touchdowns. But Vegas numbers don't play the game, players do. Charlotte's offense lost its leader in Connor Harrell, but backup Grayson Loftus inherits a passing unit that still ranks top 50 nationally. Receivers Jai Mason and Javen Nicholas are capable of striking downfield, and they face a South Florida secondary surrendering over 260 yards per game, one of the softest marks in the country. Even in defeat, that mismatch gives Charlotte the chance to chip away at the margin. For South Florida, quarterback Byron Brown drives an explosive attack, but heavy favorites rarely press the gas for 4 full quarters. Once the Bulls build their cushion, they'll turn conservative, pull starters, and think about the next week. That's when the back door opens. Conference underdogs live in those late minutes, when one drive against second-string defenders flips a 35-point blowout into a 24-point cover. Charlotte doesn't need to win. They don't even need to scare South Florida. They just need to fight, throw, and hang around long enough to stay inside a number that's been inflated by perception and injury headlines. And today's AI pick is Charlotte plus 28.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 3.
Friday night in San Jose, the Mountain West spotlight falls on CEFCU Stadium. New Mexico arrives at 3-1, riding confidence and balance under first-year coach Jason Eck. San Jose State comes in at 1-3, but at home, with urgency and a quarterback built to light up the night. This is not just a conference game. It's a test of whether the Lobos' momentum can travel, or if the Spartans' air raid finally breaks through. Jack Lane gives New Mexico stability. He's completing nearly 70% of his passes and works behind a rushing attack, averaging 174 yards per game. The Lobos thrive on possession, grinding clock, and keeping games in the 20s. Their defense allows only 21 points per game, and they've used that discipline to grind out wins. But San Jose State holds the game's most dangerous weapon. Walker Agate has already thrown for nearly 2,200 yards, orchestrating the nation's 21st-ranked passing attack. His favorite target, Danny Scudero, has carved up secondaries all season, against the New Mexico defense giving up 239 yards a game through the air, ranked 110th nationally. The path is clear. If Agate has time, the Lobos' backline will bend, and then it will break. The history matters too. New Mexico has not won in San Jose since 1969, and the market has spoken. San Jose State is still favored despite their record, because the matchup tilts toward their aerial firepower. With home field, desperation, and the best single unit on the field, the Spartans are positioned to control this contest. And today's AI pick is San Jose State minus 2.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 4.
Friday night in Provo, the lights of Lavelle Edwards Stadium spotlight two teams on opposite paths. West Virginia arrives at 2-3, rebuilding under new leadership and searching for stability. Number 23 BYU is 4-0, ranked and riding one of the nation's best defenses alongside an offense that's learning how to win in different ways. Oddsmakers posted the total at 47.5, expecting Cougar dominance to hold the score down. But the conditions, the matchups, and the numbers point the other way. At the center is true freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier, who has already shown veteran-level control. 6 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and 4 more on the ground make him the dual-threat engine of an attack averaging nearly 39 points per game. Behind him, L.J. Martin has piled up over 400 rushing yards, and BYU's ground game ranks top 10 in the nation. This is not a team built to grind out 20-point slogs. They create separation with touchdowns, not field goals. West Virginia counters with a heavy run game of its own, ranked top 25 nationally at 216 yards per night. Even against BYU's front, volume rushing can spring explosive plays. And if the Mountaineers fall behind, they'll be forced into more passing, creating either turnovers or quick strikes. Both outcomes feed points. Add in BYU's history of explosive scoring at home, and the table is set. The weather brings another wrinkle. Rain makes defenses slip, balls pop free, and short fields turn into sudden touchdowns. Sloppy games rarely stay quiet. They swing wild. If BYU climbs into the mid-30s, all it takes is a late West Virginia score or a defensive miscue to push this game past the number. And today's AI pick is over 47.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to Game 5.
Friday night in San Diego, the stage is set at Snapdragon Stadium for a Mountain West clash that looks like a defensive war on paper. The line is pinned at 41.5, one of the lowest totals on the entire slate. But low numbers like this are traps. They beg you to play the under. In reality, this matchup has just enough volatility and efficiency to break the number wide open. San Diego State lives off precision football. Quarterback Jaden Denegal protects the ball, and running back Lucky Sutton pounds away until the Aztecs are inside the 20. From there, they're perfect, literally. San Diego State has scored on 100% of its red zone trips this year, the best mark in the country. Even if they only generate 3 or 4 good drives, the odds say those drives end in touchdowns, not field goals. Colorado State counters with a pair of backs who can change the game in one snap. Jalen Dupree grinds the tough yards, while Lloyd Avant is pure explosiveness, ripping off 7 yards a carry. Against a defense that will be keyed on stopping Sutton, the Rams only need 1 or 2 breakaway runs to tilt the scoreboard. Add in their tendency to press the pace when trailing, and garbage time points are squarely in play. And with a number this low, chaos matters. A tipped pass, a fumble deep in territory, or a special team strike can swing the total in an instant. Last time these teams met, the game finished 22-19, right on the edge. This time, San Diego State's offense is more efficient, and Colorado State's defense is softer against the run. That project's closer to 27-17, 44 points and just enough to cash. And today's AI pick is over 41.5. Will we cash or will we burn? On to the recap.
The night belongs to the bold, and the board has spoken. 5 games, 5 chances to tilt the balance between profit and pain. Let's carve them one by one. In Newark, Delaware's blue out lights the sky, but the AI stands with the Hilltoppers. Game 1, Western Kentucky plus 2.5. Down in Tampa, the number is monstrous, but the value hides in the dog. Game 2, Charlotte plus 28.5. Out west in San Jose, the Spartans' air raid meets a vulnerable Lobo secondary. Game 3, San Jose State -2.5. In Provo, rain, altitude, and chaos test both sides. Defense may rule, but points will rise. Game 4, over 47.5 between BYU and West Virginia. And in San Diego, Friday night closes with a grinder that breaks the number. Game 5, over 41.5 Colorado State against San Diego State. Ahora en español. Juego 1, Western Kentucky más 2.5. Juego 2, Charlotte más 28.5. Juego 3, San Jose State menos 2.5. Juego 4, alta de 47.5 en BYU contra West Virginia. Juego 5, alta de 41.5 en Colorado State contra San Diego State. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Wer nicht wagt, der nicht gewinnt. He who dares not, wins not.